First question is, from the YouTube clips of the tour, seems like you three are really enjoying yourselves. How's the tour been going so far?
It's been going great, thanks for asking. And I do enjoy myself on stage, and the other two are actors, so I can't tell. They're pranksters. They might be pretending to have a great time and really be sour. No, I'm sure they're having a great time. They're happy and cheerful and well-fed and sassy.
Speaking of YouTube, do you enjoy the instant access people have these days, such as fans posting the tour clips almost instantly on the web?
Oh, well, I don't know. I don't check it out too much. What I have seen, I've enjoyed. So, I certainly have nothing to say about, whether if they can put it up. All I ask is that if they find a way to make a lot of money, they let me know how they do it so that I could join in the fun.
How have you enjoyed performing some of the lesser-known Monkee songs like All of Your Toys and I Don't Think You Know Me?
I enjoy playing music. It's not a question of whether I'm playing some of the best-known songs or some of the least-known songs. I like the music. If it's good music, I like to play it. That's all I know.
How did you decide to put the set list and the staging together for the show?
Davey does all that. That's just all up to Davey.
Oh, really?
Where Davey says goes in that department. Yeah, he's in charge. Because we had a good experience with him once. Mickey and I sat down. We were looking at the sets with songs we wanted to do, and we tore it up a piece of paper into lots of little pieces and wrote the names of all the songs on each little piece and put them on the floor and started sorting them to see if we could make an order. And David walked in with the set list, and we looked at it and said, no, this is what we had in mind in the first place, so we let him do it from then on.
Are there any plans to film or record any of the shows on this tour?
There are no plans at the moment, although there's been some discussion. We have to see how it works out. I don't know. I'd love to get a live show together on video. I think we're having a great time here. I'd love for everybody to be able to enjoy this.
I know the set list is incredible. I'm really glad you're adding a lot of the lesser-known tracks.
I wondered about that, it's been very good. I've always had questions whether we didn't have to stick to absolutely all the tried and true songs, but Davies and some of the promoter people also said, let's give the diehard fans what they want, the songs that are a little bit more obscure, and not justifiably. I mean, I don't think that the offbeat songs are any less musical than the hits. They just happen to be the ones that were, the hits just were the ones that were handiest for the occasion. The other songs are very, very musical, just the same, and like I said before, I really like playing them.
I really enjoyed the Shoe Suede Blues interpretations of For Pete's Sake and Last Train to Clarksville. Any plans for revamping other Monkee songs like that on this tour?
Well, I don't do any revamping of old Monkee songs. Basically, on this tour, I think we have, besides adding horns, we have actually altered arrangements or quality or sound quality of the songs very, very little. We've hardly touched the songs at all. Do them as close to the record as we can, except there weren't any horns on Clarksville, and we have the horns on the road, and we love what happens when horns kick in. So we've written horn parts for some of these other songs that didn't used to have horns on them. Other than that, we haven't touched the songs. And there's no plans to either. No, that's for the Shoe Suede Blues treatment of those songs is for the Shoe Suede Blues, which I also love, and that's a different thing. We do mess around with those songs to probably to cast it more into the blues mode, which is what Shoe Suede Blues is about, much more bluesy mode. But for Monkee music stuff, no, wouldn't touch them.
What did you think of the recent Rhino handmade box sets of Birds, Bees, and Monkees and Head? Were you pleased with them?
Of course, they're fabulous. I'm actually, to tell you the truth, one of the things that tickled me the most was a genuine Mylar cover for Head.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, the Head box set. That's just glorious. The whole point of that was you looked in the thing and it said Head, and there you were.
Right.
And, that was so. We thought that was awfully clever, and it just turned out to be terribly difficult for the record company. Mylar does not handle well. They're used to dealing with paper, and Mylar is so completely different that it messed them up. It messed them up big time. But there they went and did the Mylar cover for the reissue, and I'm just so glad about that. And of course, the mastering, you hear things that you well, maybe, vinyl purists tell you that vinyl is better than CD, but it's much more expensive to get good results out of vinyl than it is out of CD, so nobody pays much attention. And generally speaking, a CD player with a decent amp or headphones will show you more than you get out of a vinyl than you did get out of the old vinyl records, particularly after you listen to your old vinyl records 50 or a couple of hundred times. The grooves start to wear out. That doesn't happen on CDs, which is a great advantage to the new technology. And the remastering provides things that maybe never were heard on vinyl. All that's wonderful stuff. I'm just all over that.
Oh, I was impressed with the breadth of material on Birds and Bees. It's such a wide range. It's really interesting.
Yeah, thanks for that.
I know Mickey compares the show Glee to the Monkees. What's your take on some of the current music shows like Glee and contest shows like The Voice and American Idol?
I don't pay any attention to those shows. When Mickey first started mentioning Glee, I didn't know what he was talking about. I myself, I watch Turner Classic Movies and some news and maybe some sports and maybe some Law and Order. That's about it. That's about all I do on television. I don't think I've watched a network show 2 weeks in a row for the last 10 years or 5 years or something, since NYPD Blue went off the air or something like that. That's all.
I also saw you were helping Mickey direct a chorus for Pleasant Valley Sunday while he was recording King for a Day. Would you enjoy producing music for other artists?
Oh, sure. If I thought that I knew what they were doing, if I felt simpatico. What happened with Mickey was it was great. It was a kind of a community thing where he was recording and people had signed up and, to participate. And at the end, it was just the choir had and all these people who'd been there, and some of them had played drums with Mickey, and some of them had played some other instruments. But there were a lot of these folks, and they said, well, let's get the choir and the voices in there, and we'll do a little thing or two. And I just heard so many possibilities for what they could do and how they could do it. And I just found myself jumping into the studio and starting to wave my arms around and saying, give it a punch here and keep this down and make it bang right there. All that stuff that directors are supposed to do. I hardly even noticed when I wasn't doing, the difference between when I wasn't doing that and when I was. And so that was great. And if I could slide that easily into the role, I'd be thrilled to death, of course.
And I know the tour has gone really well so far. Are there any plans of maybe doing a new recording with the other two, or maybe even having Mike join in at a show?
Well, like I said, no plans. That's not to say there haven't been some discussions, and we've done some thinking about it, but no, we can't honestly say there are any plans to do that.
What's been the most rewarding part of your career? Is it the longevity or the diversity?
Oh my, most rewarding part of my career? The fact that I get to have one right there is about it. I love to play in front of people. I love to entertain, and I love music, and I love to be in the band, and I love to be in the community. The life on the road, the life of rehearsing and recording and performing, all of those kinds of things are just wonderful. And whether I'm doing a lot of different things or one thing concentrated, it doesn't seem to make much difference to me. If I could do the Shoe Suede Blues thing, 4 days a week for the rest of my life, I'd be a very happy camper. And if I could do the Monkees for 4 days a week for the rest of my life, I'd be a very happy camper. It's about performing and being an entertainer. That's the lovely part of my life.
Last question: is there anything that you haven't done in your career that you'd like to do?
Anything I haven't done in my career that I'd like to do? Gosh, well, no. If you're talking about behaviors on my part, no. If you're talking about selling a million records on my own voice alone, yeah. But no. To do the things I want to do, I do the things I want to do. I have very little else. If I were a much better musician, I might play classical, but it's some classical. Although, but no, nothing that I would like to. That's nothing real, shall we say? Because I'm not going to sing opera and I'm not going to play piano concerti and that kind of thing. So if it's, but among the things that are real and possible, I'm doing them all. Thank you. It's great.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time time to talk with me, and I look forward to, I'll be at your show at Merrillville. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks very much. I hope I get to see you, and to say hi.
Okay.